Hey guys, it's Bailey from Making Up Midwest, and this is going to be a quick review with some before and after pictures of Tarte's Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation, as well as a comparison between this and the Tarte Colored Clay Foundcealer 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. A lot of you guys, once I reviewed this, I'll link to that below. I think I'm wearing this exact same dress in that video as well. Once I reviewed this, a lot of you guys wanted to know how it stacked up against this kind of more well-known foundation that's more widely available. So that's what this is going to be. If you want to see all that, please continue watching. So first things first, the full coverage foundation retails for $38 sold alone at Ulta and Sephora, but QVC does have a smaller shade range available, and you can purchase it for $38 along with a big kabuki foundation brush, which is an awesome steal as long as they have your shade. This foundation promises 12-hour wear and obviously full coverage. It has a thicker moussey texture, and I find that I can really build it to get a medium coverage and really build it to that full coverage that it promises. The nice thing about that texture is it does kind of blur the lines and any kind of blemishes you have to create this sort of soft focus effect, and I feel like it controlled my oil really well throughout the day, as you'll be able to see in before and after pictures after I think 8 or 10 hours of wear. It did not oxidize on me, and despite that thicker texture, I also didn't find that it clung to any dry spots. It also didn't accentuate any oily spots because I do have combination skin, so I have to worry about a foundation doing both. Didn't do either of those things. Really, I think this had flawless wear throughout the day. I would say I really do recommend this, and in particular, I'd recommend it to someone who needs a little bit more help with oil control within their foundation and wants more full coverage wear. Now, as far as it compares with the Colored Clay Foundcealer, I have to say I was shocked at the differences. There really is a difference between the multicolored clays that are supposedly in this Foundcealer versus what is a straight, more traditional foundation. When you look at the comparison shots of the two side by side, I personally really think you can see the color correction that the Foundcealer does. I still needed concealer, or I felt like I needed concealer with both of these, so the 2-in-1 foundation and concealer didn't necessarily live up to that promise, but it does live up to the color correcting promise. In that picture, I really think that it canceled out any redness. It really helped with my under eye discoloration. I tend to get sort of these blue purple spots right on my inner corners due to lack of sleep and allergies, dry eyes, all that kind of stuff. This really helped correct that, and it took comparing these two side by side to see what that color correction really does. That being said, despite that this color corrects, it just doesn't apply that much coverage. You really can build this to get a more fuller coverage, and that's not really possible with the Foundcealer. When it comes to texture, the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Concealer is a little bit thicker, and it also helps control oil quite a bit better than the Foundcealer. So in general, for those who need color correction, don't care about as heavy coverage, go with the Colored Clay. This, however, is exclusively available to QVC, and they have kind of a more narrow shade range, whereas the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation definitely would recommend to anyone who isn't so much concerned about color correction as they are just about evening out the overall skin tone, really providing more layerable coverage. If you can, if your shade is available, I do recommend buying this through QVC because you do get that extra brush with it. However, there are quite a few shades in this entire range, and QVC really narrows it down to like 6 or 7, so it might be harder to do, and they don't necessarily correspond with the shade you have. For instance, mine is Fair Light Honey, and on the QVC site there I think is like Fair Light Medium, you know, the more traditional foundation shade. So that's going to be one tricky point of purchasing this, but if you can get to an Ulta store or Sephora and really swatch it on yourself and give yourself a sort of range, I think that will definitely help. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this review and comparison helped you make your foundation choice when it comes between the two of these. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!